Yo, what's up everybody? Jumpin here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play the Shaman in For Honor. This is a very powerful new hero in Season 4, and it's definitely one of the best they've ever released for sure. It's kind of a combination of all the best stuff from other heroes, all mixed into one really overpowered hero. So I'm going to try to go over everything you need to know and really teach you how to play this class, because this class is extremely good and has so much going for it. Alright guys, let's go ahead and talk about the basics now. Now the first thing I want to talk about is her amazing light attack. If you actually mash the button, you'll do double light, kind of like a Warden, and also just like the Shinobi. These light attacks are very annoying and very fast, and they work extremely well. If you've ever fought against a Shinobi, or if you've ever actually played the Shinobi, you should know that having light attacks like this is just absolutely amazing. But I do recommend just mashing the button multiple times. It's the easiest way to just always pull it off. I do not recommend doing light one way and then light the other way. You just want to mash it from the same way twice really quickly, and you'll always do the double hit. And the second hit is always guaranteed. Now let's talk about her heavy chain. She can do one heavy, and then she can do another heavy. If you do a second heavy from the left, it's going to come out as an unblockable. The fact they gave her an unblockable is really crazy to me. It opens up so many opportunities to do big damage, and there's a lot of combos that you can do with her unblockable. You don't actually have to do double heavy to actually pull that off. You can do a light attack, and then you can follow it up with the heavy. So that is something to keep in mind. But the fact that she has an unblockable is really crazy because of all the other things that she can actually do. Now let's go ahead and talk about her bleed attack that she can do, which is the third part of her chain. So if you want to do this combo, it's actually very simple. All you have to do is either do a heavy first or a light first, follow it up with another heavy, and then do a light attack. So you can do light, light, heavy, and then light. The third hit is going to be a bleed attack, and once you inflict bleed on them, all of your attacks will heal you from that point, and it's also going to make certain attacks do different things. But the fact that she can heal herself, well, that's pretty crazy as well. It's not even like a feat. It's just something that's built into the Shaman. So that is just absolutely ridiculous that she has this ability. Now let's go ahead and talk about all of her different dodge attacks. So if you dodge to the left or to the right, if you hit the heavy button, you're going to do this little spin move, which is kind of like a berserker, but it does a lot more damage than the berserker because it is a heavy attack. This is also the first part of a chain if you want to chain it all together. So you can do this, then you can do the unblockable, then you can do the light attack for the bleed. So yes, this attack is actually really nice because if they attack you, you can dodge it, and then you can go ahead and go into other attacks and actually just go crazy on them. Now let's talk about her forward dash and back dash attacks that she has. You can actually do a heavy with her if you dash forward or backwards, and it will come out from any angle. It can come from the left, the right, or the top. It just depends on where you're actually aiming it, but you can back dash or you can forward dash to pull this move off. And it's a really nice move. It comes out really fast and it has a lot of range to it, so that's really nice. Now her other attack that she has, you're going to do this by dodging forward or backwards and then hitting the guard break button. And this is going to be a little bit of a headbutt move. Now what's really cool about this move is that this move actually has two forms to it. The headbutt move will actually open them up for a little bit of damage. You can actually get some free light attacks off, kind of like a Warden with this move. But it is kind of tricky to pull off, and I'll try to explain that in a moment on how you can actually get the free light attacks. This is something, though, that you're going to need to practice. But let's talk about the other move, which is the first thing I wanted to know when I seen her. How do you do the bite move? Well, all you have to do is you have to inflict bleed on them. Once they have bleed on them, remember, all your attacks is going to heal you. Well, what you can do is you're going to do this little headbutt move with the guard break button, and then you'll jump on them, and then you'll bite them. Now, once you do that, the bleed effect will be taken away, but you will hit them for massive damage, and you'll heal a huge chunk of your life as well. It's kind of like a Shigoki. So like I said, the Shaman has a lot going for her. I mean, that little bite move itself is just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about how to get the free lights off of the headbutt. Now, the timing on this is extremely strict, but the best way I can describe it is the second you start to see the unblockable symbol go away on your opponent, that's when you can unleash the lights. And if you pay attention, you can see what I'm talking about. The second that it starts to go away, that's when you can unleash it. And I noticed that it seems like that's when it works the best. But the lights will be free if you do it right. And like I said before, the lights are really good, and they will open up a lot of combos. So if your opponent is very defensive and it's really hard to hit them, you can always just go ahead and do the headbutt and then unleash your free lights. But this is something that you definitely want to practice to try to get the timing down, and you definitely want to be good at doing this because this is something that will open up a lot of combos for you later on. Now let's talk about all of her different soft feints that she gets. She's kind of like a Peacekeeper and Centurion combined, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Now her first soft feint is going to be a heavy attack into a light attack, which is done pretty much just by canceling your heavy with the light attack button. And when you do this, you can actually start the heavy up from any angle, and you can release the light attack from any angle. So it's absolutely amazing, and it's something that you should definitely try to utilize, because once you have the bleed effect on them, then you can go ahead and start healing yourself with all your attacks. And you can also go ahead and do this little move as well, which you can jump on them and bite them for massive damage. Now her next soft feint is pretty much like a Centurion, and also the Peacekeeper can do this as well, which is going to be a heavy into guard break. You can cancel your guard break into a heavy. Now what's really crazy about this, first of all, is that she has an unblockable. So when you do an unblockable attack, you're generally going to get a reaction. Someone's going to try to parry that, or they're going to try to dodge it, or they're just not going to react to it. One of the best ways to fight the Centurion is just to not react to his heavies. Don't try to parry the Centurion. If you do, you'll probably be punished. So if people start to learn that about the Shaman, well then they're not going to try to parry the Shaman all that much. And what's going to happen is you can actually just let this go. It's kind of a mind game. So I'll show you. You just go ahead and do a double light, and then you go for the guard break. If they try to parry it or dodge it, you're going to get that guard break off. Now what's really crazy is once you get the guard break, you can throw them. And then if you do the heavy attack, you're going to do the leaping heavy attack that I showed earlier. That is free. That is guaranteed. Also, you can do the headbutt move as well, and that is free and guaranteed. Now what's even crazier, if you have the bleed effect on them and you get the guard break on them, once you throw them, you can get the bite attack for free. It's guaranteed if you actually get the throw off. It doesn't matter if they go into a wall, it doesn't matter if they're out of stamina or what. You are going to get that attack off if you get the guard break first. So by having these guard break moves where you can cancel your different things into the guard break, it's just amazing. You're going to get a lot of people with your guard breaks, 100%. She gets a lot of free damage because of that. So now I'm going to show you one of the craziest moves that the Shaman has. This is a ridiculous fake out move. It's pretty much a soft feint, but it is just ridiculous. Like, this is 100% going to guarantee you a bite attack or a guard break or a heavy attack almost every single time, because humans will always dodge this. They will always get ready to dodge because you'll put pressure on them, especially if you can get the bleed on them, because they're going to be looking for the bite. They definitely will think you're going to try to bite them, and they will try to dodge this move because they do not want to be hit by it. If they do dodge it, they can get a free guard break on you, so it's something that they really do want to dodge. So first things first, what you can do, you can dodge forward or backwards, and then you can hold down your heavy button or your guard break button. If you hold the button down, it's going to look like this. It's kind of like an Orochi. You can cancel it with your cancel button, just like an Orochi as well. The cancel button would be circle for the PS4, and it's going to be B on the Xbox. Now, like I said, you can do this either with the heavy, and you can cancel it, or you can do it with the guard break, and you can cancel it. So, what you can actually do for the crazy fake out move is you can actually tap your dodge button, your guard break button, and your heavy button all at once. You can do this going forward or backwards, and it's going to look crazy because they don't know when you're going to release it, and you will pretty much guarantee that they will dodge prematurely. Once they commit to their dodge, you can unleash your bite attack, and it will land pretty much every single time. Or you can cancel it into a guard break, and you can grab them as they dodge, which they can't counter. So let me go ahead and demonstrate this, and I'll show you what this move looks like, because it looks absolutely ridiculous. Now the way that I'm going to do this is I'm just going to pretty much tap all those buttons I just explained, and a lot of times I'll press forward and backwards. So I'm dodging forward, I'm dodging backwards, and I keep like committing and faking out my heavy and my guard break. And they just don't know when I'm going to release it. And what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get them to dodge, because if they'll dodge, I know for a fact I'll actually be able to successfully hit them. And like I said, once you have bleed on them, you can really put that pressure on them because you can get that bite attack. So let me quickly demonstrate that. So just imagine you're my opponent, and imagine if you actually seen this. I mean, this just looks crazy. You commit to your dodge, and all of a sudden, boom, you're getting bit. So this is ridiculous. And then at the end, you can also go for the guard break too if you like, if they're out of stamina. Just go ahead and cancel it and grab. So it's a really crazy fake out move, and you can just do so much with it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's one of the best things that the Shaman has. Now let's talk about the zone attack. So the zone attack is actually really good. It hits 4 times, but if you do hit them with the first attack, the second attack will hit guaranteed, but the third and fourth attack will not. And there's a very good chance that that can be parried. So I recommend canceling the third and fourth attack every single time. Now you can cancel it with a hard feint by pressing circle or B on Xbox, or you can go ahead and soft feint it by pressing the light attack button. So let me go ahead and show the hard feint real quick. And that's a big problem with her zone attack. A lot of times you'll do this because you're trying to do the zone. That's okay, because a lot of times this will actually go through and you'll actually hit your opponent. But you really got to try to get the zone timing down as well, because the zone timing is kind of a nightmare now in this game. So right there, that is the soft feint attack that you can do. Just anytime you're doing the zone attack, just press the light attack and you'll do a soft feint into a bleed move. Or you can actually also hard feint it as well with circle if you like. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that, and that's what that looks like. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of the Shaman's very powerful yet very simple combos that you can pull off. And these combos are devastating. They do crazy damage. The first one is going to be her zone attack combo. To do this, what you need to do is do her zone attack, then you're going to soft feint the zone attack into a light attack so you can inflict the bleed. Then you're going to soft feint a heavy into a guard break, and you're going to throw them, then you're going to bite them. So let's quickly do that. So we're going to do that. Go ahead and just pull off the full combo, and you can see it for yourself. But that's pretty much what you can do it. Now remember, if they do counter your guard break, because maybe they just don't fall for this at the end. If they don't fall for that, that's fine, because once you have that bleed effect on them, you can start trying to juke them out, and then boom, jump right on top of them. The moment they try to avoid you or dodge you, you can let your bite attack go, and you can jump on top of them. So either way, I mean, that's a very simple combo, but it's very powerful because it will pretty much almost guarantee you to get the bleed attack. Now, they can block that bleed attack, though, so keep that in mind. That's not guaranteed to actually hit them, but it's pretty likely that it might, and once it does, you can actually get the bite attack off. Now, her next combo is going to pretty much revolve around doing some lights and then unleashing your unblockable. Now, throughout a fight, you should actually try to soft feint your unblockable a couple times, just so that your opponent will think that you're not going to let it go. So for example, her lights are very good. You can always just go ahead and do this, and you can get free lights that way. But in general, it's not really hard to actually get your lights to go off because they're so fast. So once you get your lights to go off, just go into this and soft feint it. And if they fall for it, eventually they're going to think, maybe after like once or twice of you doing that, they're going to think that you're not going to actually unleash it. So they're not going to react to it. They're going to wait for the guard break so that they can counter guard break you. This is a pretty common technique used against the Centurion. So we're going to flip that on them. What we're going to do is we're going to let it go. And this time, once we let it go, we're going to unleash a devastating combo on them. So we're going to go ahead and do double light, let it go, and then boom, you can unleash a bleed attack. Once you unleash that attack, that's when you can start to do crazy stuff like this. You unleash it, you go boom, go ahead and soft feint that, kick them, and jump on top of them. And once again, you can just go ahead and use your little juke out move, and if you do that, that will also allow you to get that bite attack if they do counter your guard break. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you that same combo I just did, but I'm going to incorporate a hard feint into it. So let's say that your opponent throws an attack at you, and you're going to dodge it, and you're going to do your little side heavy. So that's how I'm going to start it this time. But this time, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to soft feint my unblockable. Then I'm going to do some lights. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that now. We do some lights. Now this time around, I'm going to let it go, and then we do this, and then we go ahead and knock them down, and we jump on top of them. So let me quickly demonstrate that again. We're going to dodge the attack. We're going to hard feint that, and then we're going to do our lights. You can also simply just do some lights first and then hard feint this, do some more lights, let it go the second time because they might not expect it that time. And then you can maybe do this little move and boom, like there you go. Now you got them. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do with this, and you should actually try to incorporate a couple hard feints in there because, like, for example, this little move right here, it's great, but if you're just randomly trying to do this, it's probably not going to work because they can block it, they can parry it. But if you do it in the middle of like a combo, you have a lot higher chance of it actually going off and you hitting your opponent randomly. So, like, for example, like what you can do is you can just go ahead and do some lights, cancel that, go for a heavy, and then boom, you hit them like that. Because they might actually legitimately think that because you feinted this, you're going to let this go. And you're not. You're actually going to do your soft feint, which your little bleed attacks. So there's a lot of little things like that you can do against better players to pretty much inflict that bleed on them and put the pressure on them. Because once they're bleeding, you're putting a lot of pressure on them. And you can really mess them up because this Shaman is just so good. Alright guys, that's going to pretty much do it for most of the combos I wanted to show off. Now I'm going to show you guys some of the out of stamina punishes that you can do to your opponent. Once your opponent goes out of stamina, they're screwed. The Shaman has so many different options to really throw your opponent off, and it's really easy to punish them for when they're out of stamina, and you can do some massive damage with that. I'm going to use one of my friends to help demonstrate this, but you're going to see some crazy things you can do for when they go out of stamina. Okay, so the first I'm going to show is going to be an unblockable feint that you can do to counter parry them. Once you do that, you can actually get a 3-hit combo. Almost every one of these out of stamina punishes, you can follow it up with a 3-hit combo most of the time. Right here, I'm going to do the same thing I just did before, but I'm going to go for the grab instead, and it pretty much will achieve the same result. Right here, I'm going to force my opponent to dodge by making them think that I'm going for my headbutt move, and then I can go ahead and just grab them, throw them to the ground, and try to get my 3-hit combo off. If you go for the unblockable, it's not always guaranteed, but if you do not go for the unblockable, it's pretty much always guaranteed to be a 3-hit combo. Alrighty guys, well that's going to pretty much do it for the Shaman. She's definitely one of the best heroes in the game right now. There's so many easy ways of getting big damage on your opponent, and she has so many amazing soft feints that you can use to just really mess people up. And there's a lot of different combos that you can do that I haven't even shown here, so you can just play around with it and try to figure out what's best for you. But just the ability to do so much damage so quickly is incredible. I really hope that this video has helped. If it has, will you please like the video for me? Be sure to subscribe for future videos, and I really do hope that everyone has a very nice day, and peace out.